My truck sounds like a lawnmower. Oh no, it's just my dad. All right, so we got a Long Ranger today. So, see how the truck does. It was really rough yesterday, so don't know, guys. Hopefully I don't end up having to tow this thing. Because I gotta go round trip. I've done 168 kilometers already. Holy jeez. Round trip is going to be 80 to 100 kilometers, so about 60 miles. Make sure we got everything. Looks like I got lots of money there, but it's all going to disappear today. Everything I made, all gone. And yeah, okay, yeah, I got that one and that one. Hang on, put that out of the camera. Okay, licensing. The renewal, yeah, it's like I got the plate renewal was 800 and some odd bucks. I was like, what the hell's going on here? It's normally like 400 and something. Well, stupid me, I forgot to park Brutus and get the money back from that. I could have basically gotten a couple of $100 back from Brutus, but because I forgot, he's been plated and insured the whole time, right? And that means the good news is I could park him for another year, but I think I'm gonna start pulling parts off of them and go that way, right? And the thing about that is that when my both plates came up at the same time, oh my god, look at all that stuff flying out of the back of my truck. Get rid of the rest of the hay in the back of my truck. Yeah, it's like yeah, so both plates were up at the same time, but it seems like they're doing it earlier, right? But I'd rather get it out of the way. I can do payments, monthly payments, but it's such a pain in the ass to do that because my regular bank account I don't normally use. I predominantly operate on cash, right? So the less the bank is involved, the easier it is for me typically. Holy jeez. There's leaves and hay and everything flying out of the back of my truck. That's funny. I guess I better stay on the road. So anyway, I gotta go all the way up to Camel's Bay. I don't know if we're gonna get a thunderstorm today. Probably should have brought a jacket with me. But anyway. But I called and they said, no, you can just show up now. You don't have to have an appointment anymore. So I'm like, okay, well that's good. That's kind of what I was hoping. You know. But you can't call them anymore if you have a problem. Like it's all diverted to like Quebec City. Quebec, why am I going to talk to somebody in Quebec City if I need to talk to somebody in Camel's Bay? You know what I mean? I hate that kind of automation stuff for that very reason, right? But anyway, 23 degrees. Probably a little warmer than that because this truck was sort of in the shade, so. But, yeah, so the $80 that I put in, I burned a quarter tank of the about half tank that I put in there. Gotta watch this road, it's very windy. This is like the most ultimate motorcycle road. Yeah, so 400 something for the plate, and then Monday I've got my oil change booked, so that's gonna be another $140 minimum. I'm gonna be completely out of money. I was supposed to do a little job today, but I got the license bureau thing, you know, the plate and all that today, and you can renew through the bank, but I prefer to renew at the license bureau. It just, I'm always afraid of the screw up, you know, and I you know, like it hasn't happened to me, but I know people is like, oh, I went and renewed my license at the bank, but they forgot to process it and my license expired. And if there's one thing I cannot risk, okay, if the plate expires on this truck, okay, I'd have to get a safety, and because of the year of the truck, no matter what condition it would be in, even if it was an A1 condition, it would never pass safety on the first go. They would say, oh, well, you got to do this and this, it'd be thousands of dollars. They do it to everybody. It's a big scam, right? But then again, most old vehicles won't pass the safety anyway. This one, no, it wouldn't pass because of my emergency brake, but everything else works on it. Oh, and my high beam, yeah. So, yeah, there's two things on this that I have to fix so that it would be safetyable, right? But even at that, it's like they would still find something else. You know what I mean? Like they would still go out of the way to find something else. And road's rough here, not as bad as the other roads, but it is pretty rough. So there'll be a lot of bouncing down the road here, and a lot of curves too. This is where I miss my motorcycles, these curves. Really letting her howl, right? But that's bad enough. Now, if my license expires, that is a nightmare I do not want to even explore, because it's not that, okay, let's say, okay, I didn't renew my plate in time, okay? Well, the truck would have to go for safety. Let's say under no circumstances it can't be safety, right? So then I'm out of a truck. Okay, so now I'm looking at another 6 to 10 grand to get another truck, right? You know, for something that would be equivalent to what I got right now, 6 grand minimum, right? So I'll say 6 to 8. You'll find a truck like this. I got this truck for 62. That's bad enough. Okay, now if my license expires, that's about 3 grand. Like, not by the time you run in the running back and forth and everything, like it'd be about 3 grand. So the license may be about $1,000, but it's about 3 grand. But that's not the problem. It takes 2 fucking years to get your license. Sorry for the language, but that's the problem. At 50 years old, you know, I really wouldn't want that to ever happen. So even if I didn't have a vehicle, I would bicycle, I would hitchhike, I would, you know, I'd do whatever it took to get up there and renew that on time. You know, I would, you know, I'd rather not pay my rent than let my license plate expire, or my license expire, just because of the pain in the ass it takes to get a license. When I was a teenager, basically you could do your learner's permit and your written test and driving test pretty much all in the same week or within a month. Like, there was none of this graduated license stuff, which I'm not opposed to the graduated license stuff. But let's put this into perspective. How we do the time? Yeah. Let's say I want to get an airplane, okay? So I pass my medical, okay? I take my ground school. Let's say I take my ground school all in 1 week, which is about 40 or 45 hours of ground school. So we'll say I take it all in 1 week, okay? And I pass the exam. And then the following week, I do my 45 hours or so of flying, okay? And I do my final exam. Let's say I'm able to book it all like that. Basically, in 2 weeks, you could be flying a Cessna 150. You know what I mean? But it'll take you 3 years to drive a car down the road, or 2 years to drive a car down the road by yourself because of the probation thing, right? It's really, really stupid. It's too long. You can't learn, like, you know what I mean? Like, you learn better in a short amount of time than you do over, like, the way, you can tell, like, bureaucrats are always really stupid, right? Like, they always, hey, stay on your side of the road. Even though I don't always do it, doesn't mean you got to do it. Like, bureaucrats are horrible because they're like, oh, if we take this much longer, a student will become that much better. But it doesn't work like that. It never has, never will. That kid driving every day will probably do way better. Okay, driving an hour a day will do way better than the guy doing, say, 2 or 3 hours a week on different days. You know what I mean? Like, he'll do much better that way. You know, he'll be an expert driver under, you know, like, maybe not an expert driver, maybe not an experienced driver, but he'll know what to do in different situations if, holy jeez, this guy's coming fast. Holy jeez. You know, if you give him, you know, more repetition in shorter intervals. So you give him, you let him drive for a day. The first day he's all over the place, doesn't know what he's doing. Second day he's a little bit better. Third day he's kind of confused. Fourth day he's whatever. Takes the weekend off. Following week does 3 more hours. By the sixth hour, he's like 6th or 7th hour. It's like he's driving like he's been driving for 10 years. You know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. See how fast that guy's going? And I'm like 3 over.